So students, very good evening. So we are going to start the chapter which is the cell. It is the structural and functional unit of life. In last lecture, we have covered the basic part of it about what are the cell, what is the cell, and what are their main types. Okay. So today we are going to start the cell theory and little bit the historical part. Okay. So let's start. So as soon after the Anton Van Leeuwenhoek invented the microscope, okay, Robert Hooke in 1665. See, Robert Hooke was the first who has, described what is the cell. Okay, observe a piece of cork under the self-designed microscope. Okay, and found it to the made like small compartment like which are present on the honeycomb. You know the honeycomb?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Such compartment he saw in the bark of the tree. Okay, and he named that compartment as the cell because in Latin the cell means the small rooms. Okay, and he named that small compartment as the cell. In 1672, like 7 years after, Leeuwenhoek observed the bacteria, sperm, and red blood corpuscles under the microscope. Okay, so we can say Anton Van Leeuwenhoek was the first who has observed the living cell. But Robert Hooke has observed in 1665, but those cells were dead because he saw those cells in the bark of the tree. Okay, so all of which were the cells. Much later in 1831, Robert Brown, an Englishman, observed that all the cell had the recently positioned the body which is termed as the nucleus. Means at the center of the nucleus there is a dense structure. That dense structure is nothing but the nucleus. Means who had discovered the nucleus? In 1831, Robert Brown. Okay, and we know nucleus is called as the brain of the cell.
Brain of the cell or the headquarters of the cell.
Because whatever the functions are performed inside the cell, they are controlled by the nucleus only. Because nucleus is there in order to synthesize the protein which are required for the proper functioning of the cell and ultimately for the body also. Okay, that's why nucleus is called as the brain of the cell. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the cell theory, the first cell theory. Okay, so in 1838, M.J. Sheldon and the Theodore Schwann, we generally used to say Sheldon and Schwann, formulated the cell theory. Okay, they like the group of two scientists, they worked on the cell theory. According to them, all organisms are formed by the cell only, whether they are unicellular or multicellular. Okay, like human beings are multicellular organism and composed of many different types of cell. Okay, so their cell theory's first postulate is what? All the organisms are composed of or made up of the cell. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. This is the second postulate of the cell theory by the Sheldon and Schwann, that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. And cell arises from the pre-existing cell, because what happens generally, suppose we have the single cell. Okay, this cell undergoes cell division. Before cell division, the nuclear division takes place. Okay, so before nuclear division, nuclear undergoes elongation like this. Then in further elongation, the nucleus becomes like this. Okay, and ultimately two daughter nuclei are formed inside the cell. So here the nuclear division takes place, and the nuclear division is called as beta karyokinesis. It is called as karyokinesis. Karyo means the nucleus and kinesis means the division. Okay, then
Sir, can you repeat, sir? Can you?
karyokinesis is called as beta nuclear division. The division of nucleus inside the cell is called as karyokinesis. This is the first step of cell division. This is the first step of cell division. Then cell division start. Okay, so the cell becomes like this. If it is the animal cell, then the cell becomes like this. Then further, this, that particular part is called as notch. NOTCH. That notch become more deeper in further development stage like this. And ultimately, two cells are formed. Ultimately, two cells are formed. Means these two cells are formed from the cell only. That means the cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. Okay, this is called as beta nuclear division. No, this is called as cytoplasmic division, and it is called as cytokinesis. CYTO cyto KINESIS. It is called as cytokinesis. Cyto means the cytoplasm, and kinesis means division. Okay, so it is also called as cytoplasmic division. And karyokinesis means what? Karyon means the nucleus, and kinesis means the division. Okay, this takes place in case of animal. But what about the plant? So in plant, intercellular septum is being formed. Okay, suppose here we have the two nucleus, then here one intercellular septum is formed. That intercellular septum grows towards the peripheral end of the cell like this. Okay, and finally two cells are being formed. Okay, so this is also cytokinesis, but here it is in case of the plant. Okay, and we know plant cell contain what?
Cell wall.
Yes, cell wall is the basic difference between the plant cell and animal cell. Yes. So here also these two cells are formed from the pre-existing cell. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
This is the third postulate of the cell theory by Sheldon and Schwann. Okay, what? The new cells are arises from the pre-existing cell. Okay, so this is all about the cell theory given by the Sheldon and Schwann. Okay, so the cell varies considerably. See, there are many different kinds of cell beta, because like our heart is formed by the type of cell called cardiac cell. Then the respiratory system is formed by the respiratory cell. Okay, and our body, bone, whatever the different kinds of organ and parts we have, they are formed by the different types of cell. Okay, wait a second, I'll just come it. Ek minute. Huh? Okay, so the cell varies considerably in shape. See, there are different type of cell, and they have difference in their shape, their size, their length also, because we know nerve cell is the longest cell of the animal body. It is about a meter long. It is about a meter long. Okay, they can be several centimeter in length. Muscle cells are elongated in shape, means they are long shaped fiber like. Okay, egg of the ostrich is the largest cell on earth now. Okay, otherwise we were having dinosaurs also, they are having largest cell as compared to the ostrich. okay, and which is about 75 mm in diameter. Some plant cell have the thick wall that is called as beta the cell wall. Okay, it is only present in plant cell.
In plants and not in animals.
Yes, yes. There is also a wide variation in the number of cells in different organisms, starting from the amoeba. It is formed by the single cell. But if you will consider the example of whale fish, it is the largest animal found on earth and which is found by the infinite cell we can't count even. In case of plant also, plant varying from the smallest, the plant called caldra, which is the single cellular, whereas the largest plant, which is nothing but the banyan tree. Okay, so it is formed by the infinite number of cells that we can't count even. Okay, so these are the variation in cells starting from amoeba to whale fish to human being, and in plants starting from the caldra to the banyan tree. Any doubt beta here?
No, sir.
Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the cell in detail. Okay, so I want everyone had to take a screenshot for that cell division part. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the cell, and it is the very important. Okay, the cell may be defined as the unit of protoplasm. Protoplasm, and it is bound by the plasma or the cell membrane. It is also called as the plasma membrane. Okay, and the processing or nucleus means it contains nucleus, which is the main processor or processing part of the cell. Okay, so protoplasm is nothing but a life-giving substance due to which the life is possible. It includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So cytoplasm and nucleus are the main part of the cell. Okay, the cytoplasm has organelles in it. Organelles are nothing but the cells part which are present inside the cell, like we have mitochondria, we have Golgi operators, we have endoplasmic reticulum, we have lysosomes, we have ribosomes, etc. Okay, it is given also here, such as ribosomes, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, plastid, lysosomes, and endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Okay, these are nothing but the different cell organelles present inside the cell. Plant cell have in their cytoplasm large vacuoles as compared to the animal cell. Okay, and containing non-living inclusions like crystals are there and pigments, and they are responsible for the colors also, like chlorophyll, chloroplast, they are nothing but the green pigment. They are responsible for the absorbing radiant energy from the light. Okay, the bacteria have neither definite shell organelles nor the wall form the nucleus, means they are formed by the prokaryotic cell, means they do not have well defined nucleus in their cell. Even most of the cell organelles are absent in bacterial cell. That's why they are placed in the prokaryotic cell. But every cell has the three major components. What are they? Plasma membrane, cytoplasm, and
Cytoplasm and
DNA.
nucleus.
DNA as a genetic material. Okay, but DNA is naked in bacteria. That means it is not enclosed inside the nucleus. Okay, so enclosed by the nuclear membrane in all other organisms except bacteria. So in bacteria, okay, nucleus is not present inside the nucleus. Or no, that DNA is not present inside the nucleus. That's why it is called as naked one. Okay, everyone.
Yes,
Everyone.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now we are going to discuss about the two basic types of the cell. We have already covered, but we will repeat one more time. Okay. So on the basis of type of the cell, we had two types of the, on the basis of presence or absence of the definite nucleus or definite nucleus and their other cell organelles, we had two types of cell beta, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Okay, let's discuss from the notes. There are two main types of the cell. Which are they? See, cytologists means those people, they are studying the cell in detail are called as cytologists. Okay, recognize two basic types of cell. What are they? The difference have been tabulated below. In table we will discuss that. So organisms which do not possess wall formed nucleus are called as prokaryotes. Means no definite nucleus is present, like we have discussed in bacterial cell, such as bacteria. And all other possess the wall defined nucleus. Means the definite nucleus is present in the cell are called as eukaryotic cell, or organism formed by such cell are called as eukaryotes. Okay, so there are two main types of cell beta, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So now we are going to write the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Okay, so what are eukaryotic cell? Eu means true or definite. Here we have the word called eu. You means the true or definite, and karyon means the nucleus. So in which cell true nucleus is present? In eukaryotic cell. True nucleus means what? The nucleus which is like formed or have the nuclear membrane, the definite wall, so that it separates from the cytoplasm. Okay, such nucleus are called as definite nucleus and present only in eukaryotic cell. What is meaning of the prokaryotic cell? So pro means early, or it is called as primitive, means it is old one. And again karyotic means the nucleus. Karyon means the nucleus. So those cells in which like primitive nucleus is present. Primitive nucleus means what? Where only the dense material is present and it is not being separated by the nuclear membrane. That's why it is called as beta primitive or the early cell. Okay, means such type of organism are formed on earth first. Okay, and we are evolved from such cells only. Okay, so now let's discuss difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell one by one by using different criteria. Okay, so first difference, nucleus is distinct. Why? Because nucleus is formed by the definite nuclear membrane, but in prokaryotic cell no distinct nuclear is present. So nucleus is not distinct, that means no nuclear membrane is present. It is in the form of nuclear zone, means if dense structure is present at the center of the cell, so we are considering only it might be the nucleus. Okay, it is also termed as nucleoid. The nuclear membrane is absent in prokaryotic cell. Now the second difference, see, double membrane cell organelles are present like chloroplast, mitochondria, nucleus, and the single membranous cell organelles like Golgi apparatus. See, you have to remember which are the double membrane organelles: nucleus, mitochondria, and cytoplasm. No, chloroplast. And single membrane structure: Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, vacuoles, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Okay, everyone getting
Okay,
the
sir.
point? Yes. Now, but in eukaryotic cell, only single membrane cell bodies like lysosome is present, endoplasmic reticulum is present, plastid, then mitochondria. It is not nitro, it is mitochondria. Okay, it is print mistake is here. It is mitochondria, beta. Mitochondria and microbodies like lysosomes and Golgi bodies are are absent. These are absent, which are endoplasmic reticulum, plastid, mitochondria, then microbodies like lysosomes and Golgi bodies is absent in prokaryotic cell. Only mesosomes and single membrane cell bodies are present only. Next, third, very important, ribosomes is ATS type. It is the type of the ribosome beta. It depends on the size and its function, and it helps in the formation of protein by using transfer RNA and mRNA, messenger RNA. Okay, but in prokaryotic cell, 70S type of ribosomes is present. Difference number 4, distinct compartment in the cell, that is cytoplasm and nucleus are present, but no compartment is present, like means no different particles or different organisms are being seen in the prokaryotic cell. Fifth, depending upon the species, number of chromosome as per the nucleus varies from 2 to many, because different cell, different types of animals, they contain different number of chromosome in their cell. Okay, and it varies animal to animal and plant to plant. But in prokaryotic cell, there is only one chromosome per cell is present. One chromosome in one cell. Okay, but like in case of human being, we are having total 46 chromosomes. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, sixth difference. Each chromosome is linear with its two ends are free. Means like nucleus chromosomes are of like 4 types. One is called telocentric. It present like this. One is called acrocentric. Is present like this. Okay. Then we have metacentric. Metacentric chromosome is looks like this. And we have submetacentric. One branch is long and other branch is short like this. Okay. So first, second, third, and fourth. These different types of chromosomes are present in eukaryotic cell. But see here, two ends are free here. Okay, here two ends of the chromosomes are free. But in case of prokaryotic cell, the chromosome in the circular end remains attached to the cell membrane in one point. Okay, so in prokaryotic cell, the one of the end of the that chromosome is attached to the cell membrane of the prokaryotic cell, and maybe they are circular. Okay, those chromosomes may be circular in form. Seventh difference, each chromosome has one linear double-stranded DNA. So we know Watson and Crick has given the DNA structure, and which is the double-stranded DNA like this. Okay, like this. It is the double-stranded DNA is present in eukaryotic cell. But in prokaryotic cell, the chromosome has single double circular DNA molecule, and it is not associated with the histone. Okay, here histone is attached to the DNA, but in prokaryotic cell, no histone is present. And you know, histone is responsible for the formation or the protein. That means it promotes the formation of mRNA, which is responsible for the formation of protein, and histone is helping there. Okay. Eighth difference. So histone is attached to the DNA in eukaryotic cell, but is not attached in prokaryotic cell. Eighth difference. Each chromosome has one centromer. See, in center here we have the centromer. This is the centromer here. Here we have centromer. Here we have centromer. Here we have centromer. Okay. which divides chromosome into two arms. So this is the first arm, this is the second arm, first arm, second arm, first arm, second arm. Here only we have single arm. Okay. However, if the centromere is terminal, then chromosome would have only one arm in this case. In that case only, in telocentric. Okay. But in prokaryotic cell, the chromosome lacks the centromere. So in prokaryotic cell, the chromosome which do not contain the centromere, the center part is not present. Okay, but in prokaryotic cell, no, in eukaryotic cell it is present and it divides chromosome into two arms, except in one case. Okay, everyone.
Okay, sir. Sir, can we have a quiz, sir? We are like getting bored a little.
Okay, so here we have to go to that structure first. So this is the structure of eukaryotic cell and this is the structure of prokaryotic cell. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Okay.
can you tell where is chromosome here?
Wait a second. See, chromosomes are formed during the time of cell division only. Okay. So in nucleus, suppose I'm just drawing nucleus here. So in nucleus, we have the fiber-like structure which is called a bit of chromatin fiber. Chromatin fiber. Okay. During the cell division, that chromatin fiber means they are nothing but a DNA. They starts condensation. Okay, and they appears like this. Okay, they appears like this. This is called as beta chromosome, and they forms during the time of cell division. Okay.
Okay, sir.